To the many of you that have downloaded our mobile app, we really appreciate it. For the rest of you that have not downloaded it yet, we just released version 01 of our mobile app. We have a long road to go to 1.0. We can't do it without your feedback to fix the errors, to advance the features, and to, of course, keep you informed. Our YouTube channel is dying. It is dying. How many people around YouTube have had to close their channel because they can't afford to do it anymore? This app is our replacement to YouTube, so it is vital that you download it. Again, it's totally free. There is no reason for you not to download it, especially if you use YouTube now. Links in description. Now, what in the world is taking place with the flu? They keep telling us to go get vaccinated. Go take a shot. Go get a flu shot, right? Here's the thing. More and more people are being vaccinated against the flu, or having the flu vaccine, today than ever before. But this is the deadliest flu virus or flu season we've had in a long time. Think flu season is bad? It might get even worse. This is the first year we have had the entire continental United States be the same color on the graph. New strains may be coming. And you see, that's what makes the obstacle or the object of getting a flu shot utterly pointless. The influenza virus that's sickened millions of Americans this season is already the most widespread outbreak since public health authorities began keeping track more than a dozen years ago. Now, with the threat of more strains emerging, it might get even worse. Flu is everywhere in the U.S. right now, said Dan Jernigan, director of the Influenza Division at the National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases. This is the first year we have had the entire continental United States be the same color on the graph, meaning there is widespread activity in all of the continental U.S. at this point. The most optimistic assumption among government experts is that the season peaked a few weeks ago, marking the apex of what was already an early and severe outbreak. However, such an outlook requires observers to ignore that outpatient doctor visits have continued to climb, albeit more slowly, in the first week of 2018, yielding the most flu cases ever for this time of the year. Even if the helpful assessment by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention bears out, there will still be an additional 11 to 13 weeks of flu circulating across the country. In general, we see things peaking right now. But that means there is still a whole lot more flu to go, Jernigan said. In addition, there are other strains of influenza still to show up that could be a major cause of disease. That may already be happening. The CDC is starting to see infections caused by the H1N1 strain of the virus in states grappling with high levels of the H3N2 strain, the predominant version of this season. In addition, Jernigan said yet another type of flu caused by influenza B viruses is expected to show up later in the season. H3N2 has compounded the damage usually wrought by the annual flu outbreak. It's known for both its severity and ability to evade the protection provided by vaccinations that are typically more effective against the other types of the flu. Now, wait a minute, did you hear it there? The ability to evade the protection provided by vaccinations. You see, if this thing morphs and changes into a different strain over and over again, how can you have a vaccination for it? You can't. Most flu vaccines are made using eggs, which are less hospitable to growing the H3N2 strain, and thus less likely to develop an effective vaccine. That strain goes through more changes over time than other versions, so vaccines are often behind the curve when they reach the general public. So why give them? Because they're only protecting the older strains, but all the new strains, well, there isn't any protection for that now, is there? But that's, of course, if the flu vaccine was to be accepted as a wonderful thing. The worst, according to them, is still coming. However, we have seen a peak this season with the flu. Who knows what's left? There are supposedly 11 to 13 weeks left of this thing. That's all I got for you. God bless and carry on.